Hey everybody and welcome to a new One Piece video. This new opening is just so rich with incredible details that I'm not sure where I should start. But I think I'll start by talking about the mastermind behind it, Yuuki Kamiya. I've been a very big fan of Kamiya's work with his Chainsaw Man endings. He directed my two favorites, the third and eighth ones, and his openings are just filled with amazing ideas, and what makes them truly stand out is the photography work and colors, as well as his editing. What's interesting about Kamiya is how he's someone with an experience in multiple fields in the industry. He started his career as an in-between animator in early 2000s, and he started doing key animation during that time. Around 2019, he was doing photography work, color grading, and editing, leaning more into this kind of stuff. He also became a director, so he's an all-rounder. This is actually not his first One Piece project. He did a manga music video for One Piece when it hit 1000 chapters. That video was so hype, it was unusual to see One Piece with metal music going extreme. And after directing Chainsaw Man's ending, as a greedy One Piece fan, I really wanted to see him more involved with One Piece one day, especially since he's a big One Piece fan, and trust me, if he didn't have strong understanding of the series, this opening wouldn't be nearly as powerful as it was. It's the type of thing only a passionate fan can achieve. So now that you might have a brief idea about his background, let's break down this opening. The first thing I want to praise about the opening is the photography work. Kamiya doing the photography is beneficial for the anime too, to not drain the main staff power towards the opening, and it's also ensuring the opening has some of the best photography work we can get on the series. So it's a very big win. The colors Kamiya chooses were very appropriate for a big battle with demons like the Gorosei. It's dark and green, but also other moments are handled in delicate and warm ways. A very cool thing is how the beginning and end connects. Joy Boy's hat flies towards the sun, but the opening ends with Luffy retrieving it from the same spot as Emmet is looking up. And there's no way a director like Kamiya, who handled demonic openings and endings, won't have fun with the Gorosei. He made them look absolutely terrifying, and he presumably did animation here on Saturn. Despite Kamiya being himself, you can see heavy inspiration from Shitani and Mori in some parts, like the sudden part with thick lines. It could be the animator's own idea, but I'm not sure. But Kamiya also attempts the same type of transition Ishitani did in the first Egghead opening, where the character changes with the same movement proceeding. He does it with the popular spread of the Final War players. Absolutely magnificent stuff here. Luffy shredding Imu's image and the sun getting brighter with amazing composition of Luffy rising was some of the best stuff I've seen ever attempted on the series. It's symbolic of very endgame stuff. With the song chorus, the hype goes higher with amazing action. This opening might be the most balanced One Piece opening. It has the action, it has the emotions, it has the scale, colors, unpredictability, narrative importance throughout the whole series, not just the arc, and it's all connected naturally. Even Imu's desire of Vivi is visualized so brilliantly through his hand looming over her. Also, I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to understand Imu. Look at how beautiful Vivi looks here. Now this final rotation part at the end, it solidified this opening as my favorite. Seamless transitions from Oden, Whitebeard, and Roger to Sabo, Ace, and Luffy to Yamato and Ace, all regarding Luffy's true goal. And we even get Blackbeard's quote about dreams and the crew's reaction to Luffy's dream. Right after Ace and Yamato cut, you see a legendary shot of Luffy. Since both were talking about his dream, the colors here are just the best ever. I truly wish One Piece Remake approaches the old scenes with a similar touch, because some of these shots remind me of the image boards. It felt like connecting so many dots at once to tell an exceptional story. Nothing screams Final Saga more than this opening. Again, it wouldn't have had such well thought out cuts if Kamiya wasn't a big One Piece fan. A frequent transition technique Kamiya used so well is the one where the character alone makes it to the cut before his surroundings. I forgot what this transition is exactly called. I used to do it with editing AMVs, but he utilized it so damn well to connect the One Piece world seamlessly with its massive scale. He took perfect advantage of the world scale listening to Vegapunk, keeping the same screen of Vegapunk, but only the people and locations changing was cool. There were also more cool rotation cuts like Frankie and Bonnie's cut. It's a cool way to present an all-out battle. I liked how the Nazjuro slash splits the aspect ratio. Now let's break down the animation. The first cut with the Straw Hats is cool, nothing crazy. One of the animation directors was Masayuki Sato, our One Piece movie's chief animation director, so I think he might have been heavily involved in this part considering how Sanji's face looks here. I absolutely love Zoro vs Lucci cut, especially those tasteful brush lines surrounding their attacks. There's a cool cut of Gear 5 Luffy with amazing effects. The impact frames are depicting the form in a more demonic way. The part that heavily resembles some parts in Ishitani's opening is cute. Shinkashi Waguma is the closest on the credits to Mori, so it's most likely his animation. The cut of the library had very cool effect with the sunray and background animation, but the Gorosei cuts, my god. This is exactly what I wanted. We get the most perfect animator to handle such demons, Vincent Chansart, a brief taste of how he'll handle them in the episodes. I love how their silhouettes morph into their actual forms. Would have loved if Vincent participated on that one Sabo and Gorosei episode. We even get a silhouette of that spread and then an insane close-up to Imu's eye. I think Vincent used the same crayon technique here, like the one he used with Dazbones in episode 1109. Anikari's cut of Luffy attacking Saturn had superb effects. He attempted similar impact frame to what Honey did with Garp and Luffy, the one with the manga sound effects. Nazuro's cut was insane in many meanings. The black and white and impact frames make me so excited to see him in action. You even see his form in the impact frames in the cool prior cut by Ziguan and Lu. In the walk cut, I love how the hair is constantly animated with the character. And the rotation cut by the Ibrahim brothers is probably my favorite of the opening. The volume in their animation is just otherworldly. It reminded me of their amazing 20th Century Boys fan animation. There's still many unconfirmed cuts, so I'll probably talk about them eventually on Twitter. As for the ending, I thought it was decent. Previous one was way better, but this fits the Vegapunks well. Overall, incredible opening, easily in my top 3 in all of One Piece. Regarding next episode, I'm not a fan of how it looks for the most part, especially the CGI explosions, but I kinda understand why they went for 3D here, because there's infinite amount of explosions as seen in the recent episode, so it might be a toll of animation. For the Gear 5 stuff, Naoto Shida seems to be involved, but the episode is looking a bit too dry for an anticipated episode. And it seems we're getting even some Shida sauce for Sanji and Kizaru. This moment did not happen in the manga, so I would really like some aerial action. Even if Sanji doesn't land a single hit or gets obliterated, I would love some aerial action with intense camera work for Sanji and Kizaru before Kizaru launches his attack at everyone. But yeah, I truly hope they nail this episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. See you next time.